appears that Governor Hochul woke up yesterday and had an epiphany. After several years of the hardworking citizens of New York in the metropolitan area pleading with her time and again to shelve congestion pricing, and her insisting that this is critical for New York State, that she was plowing ahead anyway, and after she spent over $500 million implementing a program, yesterday she announced she was going to implement a pause. Now let's understand what that means. A pause means that you can also press play at any time. So we're here, one, to acknowledge that after years of pressing her to repeal congestion pricing, and we have bills that we've introduced to do just that, she finally understood what we've been saying all along. She finally listened to the people of the state of New York. She finally listened to the taxpayers of our state, and she decided to press pause. It's not enough. She needs to repeal the program altogether. She needs to tear down the equipment that she has installed to ensure that a week after this next election, she doesn't just choose to press play and put us all back in the same place, because I'm a bit cynical. I've been around a little bit. I've seen some things over the years. I've also seen how people in this building operate. Congestion pricing is an attack on the middle class of our state, on working people in our communities. And my district on the North Shore of Nassau County is a commuter's district. There are hundreds of thousands of people that go into New York City every day to go to work, to go to doctor's appointments, to visit loved ones, and congestion pricing was undoubtedly a tax on them and made their lives harder, more difficult, in a way that the governor, I guess, seems to understand only now. So we're going to accept the pause for now. We're going to call on her to repeal it altogether. We have legislation that if she wanted to, she could issue a message of necessity today, put it on the floor of the Senate and the Assembly, and have a vote to repeal congestion pricing once and for all. And in the case of my bill, the bill I sponsored, Senate 5425, would also require an accounting of the MTA. There should be an audit. We should understand where they're spending the billions and billions of dollars that taxpayers and hardworking New Yorkers spend on the MTA every year. So here's the message. Great for the pause. Wonderful news for every family in New York State. But the governor has a lot to explain. And the taxpayers of this state and the Democrat majorities of the Senate and the Assembly who voted for this, every one of them who are now out there running for cover, they have a lot to explain. They owe this state and the taxpayers of this state over $500 million in money that was flushed down the toilet. They're going to have to come up with it. And I don't want to hear that we're going into reserves or we're going to bond for this. I don't want to hear that. The taxpayers have paid enough. I want to know how they're going to make it up. My constituents want to know how this governor and these legislative majorities are going to make this up to them.